Because of the damage to the coral reefs, the Philippines is looking to pursue legal action against China, such as filing a new complaint before the Hague Tribunal. UP Institute for Maritime Affairs and Law of the Sea Director J. Batongbacal joins us. Sir Jay, good evening and welcome to the program.
Hi, good evening, to all our televiewers.
Okay, so sir, the Philippines is considering legal action against China again, so this time over coral harvesting. Do you think we have a strong case against Beijing, and is this the right move?
Well, I think that there is a strong case because they have been recorded previously undertaking this activity, and our own fishermen have been reporting this almost yearly since around 2014, 2015, if I recall correctly. So there is evidence to back up a claim that they have been undertaking these activities. The question then lies, then next is how much of it can we prove through direct and substantial evidence. The West Philippine Sea, after all, is such a large area, and there are many reefs to contend with. No? So we have to be very selective in a way in identifying the reefs about which we will then file cases, if ever. Whether this is the right move or not, I think it's a matter of, number one, preparation, and number two, strategy overall, because we know that China, of course, will resist this kind of litigation again. So we have to think carefully on what we want out of this action, if ever we take it.
Well, that's right, because China refuses to honor the landmark ruling, right? So as well as our back-to-back diplomatic protests. So how will things be different with a new legal action?
Yes, that's why I think that a new legal action must be taken in the broader context of what is the Philippines' overall strategy for trying to change China's behavior through multilateral pressure. We cannot look at the litigation in isolation. No, this is not something we file as if to and then expect that China will immediately then pay damages. No? So this has to be part of a much broader strategy of mobilizing international pressure against China in many different fora.
All right.
Actually, some years ago, under the previous administration, our own institute came up with something like 11 different ways of doing this, all of them surrounding this issue of coral harvesting by China. So I think that gives you an idea of how many options there are, how many ways we can try to mobilize international pressure against China and its activities in the West Philippine Sea.
Can you share just a few of those strategies with us very quickly?
Well, they span the range from reportorial or investigatory procedures, no? So like international fact-finding mechanisms, all the way down to this litigation that is being talked about. No, so there are many different ways, many different international fora that we can take the issue to, and all of that can be used to mobilize international attention and international pressure on China.
Okay.
Because that's really what's needed here. It's not a threat of payment of damages. It's really the pressure of the international community that can make China change its behavior.
All right. Well, the ICC in 2019 junked a similar case filed by former DFA Secretary Albert Del Rosario and former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales against Xi Jinping for lack of jurisdiction. So in which court should this new case be filed?
Well, I think that the ICC was, declined jurisdiction because it is designed for a specific type of action, a specific type of case. No, so they found that it wasn't the appropriate venue, basically. For this type of action, I think that our options are again an Annex 7 tribunal under the Law of the Sea Convention, which is basically the same procedure we took in the first South China Sea Arbitration Award. That, I think, would be the basis for any new actions which essentially implement the award or follow up on its rulings.
Well, Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel actually said that the Philippines just shouldn't file another case. We should assert or reassert our 2016 win instead. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, those can go together actually. The filing of a case for damages, I believe, would inevitably be based on the South China Sea Arbitration Award in the first place, because the award is what establishes our rights to these to the natural resources in the West Philippine Sea, which include these coral reefs. No, so if we are to pursue a case for damages to our natural resources, then it will be based, in fact, on the finding of the ruling that these areas do pertain to the Philippines.
All right. Well, do you think that President Marcos will actually approve of this planned legal action? Because he has this approach of friend to all, enemy to none.
Well, I think that's up for the president, and the strategy that is recommended to him and agreed upon by the Foreign Affairs and Cabinet. I think because, as I mentioned, no, this litigation should not be seen as an end-all, be-all. No, it's only one option out of several. So, and it is therefore only one possible action that we can take under a broader strategy of trying to bring international pressure to bear on China in order for it to change its behavior.
All right. And in your view, what else must the government do now in response to the reported damage to corals in the West Philippine Sea?
Well, of course, as already reported, no, and also stated by our scientists and also some of our government officials, of course, research is needed now, basically to gather evidence and also to ensure that the damages can be attributable really to China if ever we want to file a case against it. No, as noted by our scientists, no, it is also possible that there are other causes of the damage that was seen. So we really need to be careful and verify that, no, and ensure that such other causes are precluded. No, we have to make sure that those are not the real causes of this damage before we can even begin to assemble a case that might be filed against China. No?
All right.
So it's filing a case like this is not easy. And the evidence and the gathering of evidence for this is also not easy. So that's why I think we need to be careful and very deliberate in our steps on here. And we really need to think of it in terms of a much larger strategy.
All right. UP Institute for Maritime Affairs and Law of the Sea Director J. Batongbacal, thank you very much for joining us.